Welcome. Today we are exploring one of the most ambitious transformations in the consumer goods industry. We got PepsiCo we're going to talk to today. And PepsiCo is in a very bold partnership with Siemens and NVIDIA. They're doing that in order to reimagine manufacturing, warehousing, and logistics using the most comprehensive digital twin and AI, which is also, of course, the groundwork for the industrial metaverse, including also software-defined automation, but that's a different gig. And properly utilized, this is obviously driving productivity, increasing efficiency, and driving flexibility, which is something that is of utmost value for a company in the food and beverage industry. Joining us today, I'm very happy to have you here, is Athina Kanioura, PepsiCo's Chief Transformation Officer, and as of, I think, just a week, you are, I'm going to read to it here, the new CEO of Latin America Foods at PepsiCo.
I know, so good to see you. I'm so excited to be here with the audience and with you.
Yeah. No, we're very happy to have you here.
Especially after an amazing keynote with Roland and Jensen, it's perfect timing.
It is perfect timing, totally. So why don't we start with the big picture? We got a lot of viewers out there, so perhaps we're going to set the stage on what we're going to be talking about. You have been going through a very big transformation. We talk about digital transformation. To you, it's also digital transformation, perhaps even more, though, because you're including AI. Being a strategy manager or boss as you are, what is the ultimate business goal that you try to achieve or want to achieve with this transformation?
Well, I'll start with the obvious, which is amazing financial benefits for our shareholders and our company. I mean, ultimately, with this transformation, we want to drive top-line growth for the organization. We want to improve bottom-line performance through productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness. And we want to make the experience of our employees much better, making their jobs very meaningful. So if you were to look at three key priorities, one is financial performance.
Of course.
Now, the second is kind of create a company which is future fit. We've always said this cannot be a transformation which is on the side, or everyone loves AI, everyone loves digital, but we want to be in a world where PepsiCo leads the thinking of the transformation.
What do you mean by future fit?
Future fit. So imagine a world where consumers suddenly want, I want this lovely can of Pepsi, but I want this to have my little customized emojis, and I want this to have a blend of 3 flavors, and I need this to come in a can which is much smaller, and I want this to be at my home like in half an hour.
I get you.
So just imagine the complexity of the supply chain and the fulfillment to be able to deliver exactly that personalized demand to the consumer.
I can totally see that, and I mean that's also something with the food and beverage industry is critical. Would you say that you said I want my Pepsi can to have this and that? What about traceability and also that stuff? That's also something that you
absolutely, because if you were to look at every pack, you have a QR code, right? And every can, in every pack, in every product of PepsiCo, in this QR code, you can track and trace ingredients. You can track and trace kind of the raw materials. You can track and trace our ESG targets. You can track and trace how many days of inventory we have had. So it's traceability not just from sustainability KPIs, but it's traceability in terms of all the product origination from the source to the cell.
So essentially what you're saying is you're having one ear to the market, probably a marketing collecting information that you use, you feed the product developers with it, the recipe transformation folks, and then you want to be able to produce and being as flexible as possible. I guess that is quite a challenge.
It is.
And how do you make it work?
Yeah, so we have a program which we call Design to Value, right? And the Design to Value is, firstly you need to sense what the consumers want. And sensing the consumers, seems very simple, but it's very challenging because you and I don't want the same thing. You and I don't have the same experiences. Sure. You and I don't want the products the same way. So how do you create those consumer experiences, but in a way that the product that you deliver is affordable, number one, is of the right quality, number two, meets your expectation in terms of your sustainability and other key KPIs, number 3. And as I said, it's being delivered to you at the right time. So what happens with this type of challenge is like all the demand signals that you are getting as a consumer, you have to ingest, you have to create this immersive experience. The same way we saw earlier in the digital twin of the factory, you need to create the digital twin of the product within the factory, so then you can customize the supply chain planning process to be able to deliver that in a price that is affordable.
Fantastic, fantastic. So recipe transformation, bill of process, and all that is something you got to manage. So now, PepsiCo and Siemens and NVIDIA have been in a project for, I think, not that long.
And by the way, what I forgot to say, for the purposes of that and PLM, we work with Siemens. Today, we didn't discuss about other areas, but for product lifecycle management, Siemens is our partner.
I think you can close the interview now. I think I got everything I wanted. But we're going to move on, though. Can you tell us a bit about the project we've been working on? For not that long, though, right?
No, I mean, we have been talking about it for 18 months. So when Siemens came to us with this idea, you know, we are developing DTC, which is the Digital Twin Composer, and, you know, we know that you guys are very ambitious about creating the future fit company. I said, okay, let's do it. I mean, NVIDIA was already a partner when it comes to the Omniverse. And we said, we want to influence the product development roadmap. We want to be the first ones that you guys test the capability. So then when you take it to market, you know how it works in the context of a company as complex as PepsiCo. So that is why the marketplace will be operational pretty much now, but already as part of the implementation, we have had results for more than 3 months. So what we've done, even when the product was, what we call it in the beta version, we've seen tremendous potential, both in terms of how you were able to optimize the efficiency of the space and the layout of the existing facilities, so existing warehouses, which, you know, for the audience that has heard in the keynote, I mean, some of our facilities are legacy facilities. They are
brownfield. We call them brown.
Exactly, brownfield, right? So in those cases, getting 20% more efficient is a massive improvement.
Absolutely.
Massive. So we are very happy with the output of the first run, and now it's about scaling.
All right. I mean, also scaling. What you said also, and I'm coming back here. I mean, I'm not a food and beverage specialist, but I know how to enjoy a good beverage, for sure. You said quality is key. And
quality is massive for us.
Yeah, and if you have a recipe of this beverage of yours, the Pepsi, you want to scale it up. You still want to keep quality going. And that's also, is that something you try to get out of also the approach that you've taken?
Absolutely. I mean, you cannot compromise quality. I mean, there are a couple of principles that we have in PepsiCo that you cannot compromise. One is quality, the second is compliance, the third is health and safety.
Okay.
So if you were to take those are hard constraints in the whole manufacturing, logistics, and operations process, then you have to develop that product taking those constraints into account, but without them being hard constraints. Still, you need to be able to go as real time as possible.
Yeah.
So, and that is why the technology gives you this massive opportunity, because if you are able to simulate all those parameters in a way that allows you to look at the blind spots, to look at the parameters that matter versus the parameters that don't matter as part of the optimization or the simulation, to assess potential external disruptions that might happen on the way while you design the implementation roadmap, then when you go to the actual implementation, then pretty much you are 90% there. Whereas typically what has happened in the past, people just go and try and test and do the trial and test in the production line.
Right.
Which then, of course, that costs money, effort, sometimes it compromises, you know, if you're not careful. Other big hard KPIs that we don't want to compromise.
So essentially building a digital twin of the facility,
absolutely,
simulate the flow of material, making sure that the conveyors and the AGVs and what have you not are working in sync, optimizing the storage. I mean, I've seen some beautiful things that you have been doing, and also what is really, really inspiring is Back to the Future. Do you know that movie?
Of course I know the movie.
Of course you know
Back to the Future 1, 2, 3.
There
Which one?
Well, 1, 2, 3, all that. There you have this ability to go backwards and also in the future. And that is, in a way, this is a very cool analogy. I just came up with it. It's kind of what you guys are doing, though. You're able to do now with the team center in the background and also see where are we now, where were we 6 months ago, and where are we going. Isn't that something also that the engineers and the plant managers are going to have?
Oh, they love it. They love it. They love it. They love it. When we actually went to the engineering team and they said, okay, this is what we want to do. Are you guys on board? They say, we are all on board. I mean, it was a matter of where would we start. And we wanted to start with one of our most challenging facilities, because if you are able to drive benefits and unlock KPIs, financial KPIs, in a warehouse that is as old as the Gatorade plant and the warehouses that I mentioned in the US, then just imagine the potential everywhere else in the world.
There you go.
So, no, the engineering team is over the moon. They can't wait to scale. I got so many texts from everywhere, including my Latin America team. We want to do everything now.
Yeah, I mean, how do you, Willis is interesting also. That's kind of also a cool segue over to you selecting the partners in this project. You are under time pressure, of course, because everybody wants it now or even yesterday. How did you go about choosing partners for this?
Well, I have a very stringent process on the partners. Because partners for us are not just people we have a transactional relationship for. They are for life. Because when you have a partner, you commit to a mid and long-term roadmap and strategic partnership, and not just, oh, I'm going to have a contract with you for a year and then thank you very much. So the partner needs to have the specific qualifications. One, they need to have skin on the game.
Of course.
So as I'm putting a lot of my faith and my money on the Siemens and NVIDIA technology, they need to put the developers, they need forward deployed engineers, they need to open the hood of their product roadmap. They need to allow me to influence that product roadmap. And this is exactly what happened in this case. With Siemens and NVIDIA, they stuck with us, they listened to us, active listening. They send their engineers work with us like hand to hand throughout the implementation. They've done the configuration. Now we have all the prototypes and the archetypes already ready. So this is what partnership is about, is caring about the success of the ecosystem.
And that's just fantastic to hear. And what you've been working on now, do you think that's going to be like a blueprint or a template for?
Absolutely.
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 Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. That's the plan. We want to scale in the US. We want to scale in Latin America. We want to scale in Europe. We want to start with those 3 regions, and then it's the rest of the world.
So you almost answered the question was supposed to come now, so I skipped that, but I'm going to take a twist on it. So when you do this type of transformation in a company, you're talking brownfield operations, you are modernizing, taking a new technology. With your experience, because you are very experienced and very good at this type of work, what would be your approach to make sure that everybody's on board? How do you do that?
Yeah, and this is where I'm putting exactly my hat on the strategy on the change management. This is a big change management undertaking for an organization of our size. You know, we're a 95 billion company and we have operations in every market. So naturally, you know, if you were to think especially how companies operated in the past, everyone believes they are unique. Everyone believes, oh, my requirements are very special. Because, right? So you need to have a very robust change management process, and with that, a learning and an upskilling process of the ecosystem, so they can understand, number one, the value generated from the initiative, what it means for them and their part of the business, and not just the people who will manage the operations. It's also the people that partner with these teams, like the sales organization, right? Third, how do you optimize the use of this technology? Very frequently, these technologies fail in a project like that when people use 70% of the potential, 50% of the potential. I want them to use 100% of the potential of the technology. So a big effort that we have been undertaking in any major transformation, including this one as we are scaling, is having the leadership on board. 1, 2, 3 levels down. Not just the top, not just the bottom, but also the in-between. Because they have to be the ambassadors of the change in every local market.
All right. Interesting. And also, if we look, you said you are everywhere. Of course
Everywhere.
you and so are also we, pretty much. And I can say that one of the big challenges that I guess all companies are faced with today is the lack of people, to find people working in this type of business.
Absolutely.
What would you do to go about that? I mean, you're working with technology. You want everybody to use 100% of the capabilities. You're having AI coming on board. You want people to get in there. But how would you make sure that people actually start working in manufacturing and development and in your industry or all industries?
Yeah. I mean, the manufacturing industry has been through waves, as you know very well. Some of the jobs are very attractive jobs for some of the markets. Some of the jobs is, especially if you ask a 25-year-old, go analog.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they will say, why go analog? I mean, it's like I'm using my mobile for everything, and now you tell me to go analog and go and do my quality and safety with a piece of paper? No, thank you very much. I'm going to the next one. Right? So this is what they want. They want to be excited about the prospect of them using digital AI in their day-to-day job. When they see that, when you give them the opportunity to do that, there is no lack of talent in the market. The flow of talent that we get for when people actually see that the job they will be doing, one, is promising. Second, it develops them. Third, it adds to their CV.
Yeah.
I mean, people will not work for PepsiCo for their whole life, right? But you prepare them for the next and the next and the next. So we want PepsiCo to be an academy for the industry. So with that, we have a massive training program, full upskilling, reskilling in any facet of technology, including, of course, AI, including on-the-job training as well. We give people opportunity to rotate market by market so they can learn also the intrinsic differences per market. But more importantly, we tell them, okay, you have a massive opportunity to work on the latest technology, right? And that gives you the opportunity then to go from being a handler to a planner to a warehouse manager to a plant manager to a division manager to the chief supply chain officer. So you give them the whole career trajectory aligned with our technology vision. I mean, what else do you want? I mean, if I were a youngster, I would want to work for PepsiCo.
Or Siemens.
Or Siemens.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or both.
Both.
Yeah. Cool. What keeps you up at night? What's your big concern?
My biggest concern, are we always thinking of what will disrupt our industry?
Yeah.
It's like, we are big. And when you are big, you want to be fast, but sometimes you cannot be as fast. So you can always have kind of the niche companies that are AI first or digital first that can eat, at the edges or change the industry. So you have to disrupt yourself faster than anyone else. So this is what keeps me at night. It's like, what is going to be the next disruption wave for the industry? What can I do to make sure that the company is protected in a way, and technology is the obvious one? All the consumer signals, as we discussed, all the supply chain disruptions, you see what is happening with geopolitics, having the foresight to be able to react in every changing landscape and environment. So, and giving the teams the ability to handle that in an independent way. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. To kind of summarize, in order to go through with this vision of yours, it's been extremely successful, as we know. You have had a very open mindset. You have selected the correct partners, and you have made sure that the whole PepsiCo organization involved in this has been along through the whole journey, and also keeping that dialogue going. I guess you always put up like goals according to this project, and you've been talking through. Fail fast, but recover even faster, and all of those things. What would you say to any given company out there listening to this? Should they be open to industrial AI, and what should they think of, and how did they get up to speed? Because you guys are moving fast now.
No, we're definitely moving fast. I mean, if you're producing anything, you don't have to be a major manufacturer. You produce anything. If you don't subscribe for industrial AI, you will be left behind. I mean, the future dictates that you create an inclusive ecosystem, that you know exactly what is happening in every part of your operation, linking that with all the consumer signals, to our earlier point about personalization at scale, that dictate a very different level of agility in the supply chain. So don't wait, because you're going to be left behind. So invest in the right partners, invest in Siemens, invest in NVIDIA, and the future is very bright for the industry.
So collaboration is key, essentially.
Absolutely.
Athina, it has been a true pleasure to have you here. I wish you all the luck also in your new job in Latin America. I'm sure you're going to wing it like a champ, 100% of that. It's been a true pleasure, and I hope to see you also perhaps in April this year in
Hanover.
That would be fantastic. So with that, everybody out there, this is Athina Kanioura, who is the CEO of Latin America Food and the Transformation...
Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer of PepsiCo.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Magnus.